the family, but I'm told it's not a team building piece that you all put together. Who's involved in that, and what does that accomplish?
Well, part of the Schweitzer Fellowship isn't just the service that the Schweitzer Fellows are putting into the community. A lot of it is the team building and the programming to really develop this network of people that share an ideal to serve the community. And so the picture I have is from our very first team building exercise, which we did at LSU. It's actually the high ropes course at LSU, and it was really to showcase for the fellows how to not only work together as a team to implement all of their individual projects, but also how to achieve individually, since it is a very individual process to identify an unmet health need and to address it.
Holly, how do you work all this volunteerism into trying to, you just mentioned #1 goal is to get out of school. How do you coordinate all of that time?
It's certainly very difficult, and it requires a lot of planning and commitment. One of the great parts about the fellowship is that we have really good mentorship. So we have a lot of support to make sure we're getting things done, make sure we're meeting our goals, and a lot of support not only within Raymond and his group, but within each other and within our faculty sponsors. So I've been able to manage it that way.
Okay, very good. Raymond, you said you hope that the program continues here. Was it started as a development project and let's see how it goes for a while, or is this the kind of thing that you think can be firmly planted and be around in our community for some time?
I really hope that it can be firmly planted in this community for a long time. We found with all the other programs in the U.S. That the community sees a need for this because of the wonderful work that each of the fellows does. In addition, the universities see a need for it because of the great opportunities that they're able to provide for the student, as well as how much these students that are Schweitzer Fellows bring back to the academic community to enrich that community. And so we're hoping that it will definitely be sustained. It costs approximately $10,000 to support a fellow, and so we're currently in the process of fundraising that, both through local and national foundations and businesses.
I would think if you could show the results, that's a real easy down payment.
Absolutely.
And a great investment. Who's funding, obviously to get it going here, it had to take some money. Where did that money come from, and how does the national organization raise money? What's the funding source there?
Well, the national organization got a Merck grant from Merck Foundation to start up these new programs, and with that we got our startup $20,000. In addition, we got matching funds from individual philanthropists from all around the country that have seen the value of this program in their own cities that want to start it up here. We also had Blue Cross and Blue Shield Louisiana Foundation help us start Kaiser Permanente in California, and also Wachovia Bank. And so these are, and I shouldn't forget the American Medical Association as well. And so all these people have come together to really help support this program.
And obviously you're getting support from the local universities in that they're supplying you students at the very least.
At the very least, and also supplying very valuable board members that really helped, as Holly mentioned, provide very valuable mentorship to the students. Do
students graduate from your program and then are replaced with another round, or do you, in some cases, do they stay with you?
Well, it's a little bit of both. The fellowship is a one-year fellowship, and it goes from May to May. And at the end of that, we do a celebration of service where we invite the community and other stakeholders to really celebrate the great work that each of the fellows has done in the community. After that, I wouldn't like to say we graduate them. They enter into what we call Fellows for Life, people that always have this commitment to service and bring it to their career. And the Fellows for Life are just the alumni network, and they continue to support each other throughout their careers. And actually, 8 of our fellows are going up to Boston, 8 of the 12, for the annual Fellows for Life conference, where we do a lot of professional development and networking.
Holly, what advice would you have for someone who may be listening to this, but who has 3 or 4 tests tomorrow and papers to write and a dissertation to finally end up with about the commitment that it takes and what you have gotten out of the program and the friends and relationships you have developed?
That's a really, really important question. First of all, when you're doing a graduate student program, PhD program, research is highly privileged, and sometimes we can kind of get lost in the ivory tower and forget that research has these practical applications. So I actually feel that doing this kind of a service project is really essential to a graduate education, and particularly for a PhD student to remember, oh yeah, health happens on the ground, health happens with individuals, and if I forget what it looks like in that clinic, then how can my research be relevant? So I would say to that person who's struggling with all of those things that I think it can make it easier to complete all of your tests and projects and dissertations, because you're remembering the value of your work and what it actually means once it's done.
Has it opened your eyes in any way that now, as you get close to the end of, perhaps the end of your education career, of why, as you just very well stated, why you're in it in the first place?
Yes, absolutely. Every day I have a new experience. Someone says something that reminds me of why this is important and why it's so important to remain involved and to be a part of not only what's happening here, but what's happening on a national scale, particularly in the health arena, which is becoming more and more a critical issue for families. Yes, and I would encourage anyone who's particularly thinking about a health field to look into different kind of service projects in your community, but especially in New Orleans, to be a part of what's going on here.
Are your plans to stick around?
Yes, I lived here before Katrina and made the decision to stay. My husband and I live here with 2 children. We started a school after Katrina. So we feel pretty entrenched in the community, and I don't think we can leave at this point.
Very good. Well, Raymond, we thank you for being with us, and Holly, we thank you. If someone is interested in learning more about the program, May to May, so you're well into this one, yes. But when do you start the application process for next round?
Well, this timing's perfect, actually, because we start the next application round October 1st, and the applications will be due in late January. I think it's January 24th, and you could submit it online, that website is www.schweitzerfellowship.org, and you could find a link there to the New Orleans program and submit your application. And the application, besides a written application, also entails an individual and group interview.
Very good. We thank you so much. Very nice meeting both of you. Raymond, Holly, thank you, and thank you for sticking around. Appreciate the difference both of you are making. Again, that phone number is 504-301-9848 with any questions you may have, or you can go online and learn more there at schweitzerfellowship.org. When we come back, Peter Finney Jr. is here from the Clarion Herald as we peek inside of this weekend's pages. That's coming next on Greater New Orleans.